Your class held a bake sale to earn money for the new playground. You plan on having another bake sale next week. What type of cookies should you make the most of? In this lesson, you will learn how to put pictures on a graph by using the key. Let's review. Picture graphs visually represent data that has been collected after a question is asked. There are many parts to a picture graph. A title, which in this case is cookies sold at the bake sale. A key that tells the number of actual items each picture or symbol represents. Category labels. Here we have our different type of cookies. And finally, pictures that represent the data that has been collected. A common mistake is that students assume that each picture represents only one thing. That is not true. Each picture on a picture graph could represent any number of things. You need to look closely at the key to see what each picture or symbol represents. For example, on this graph, one picture of a flower could represent 2, 5, or 10 actual flowers, depending on what the key looks like. If you have a key that shows one picture of a flower represents 2 actual flowers, you would think 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 6, to figure out that there were 6 tulips. If your key looked like this, you'd think 5 plus 5 plus 5, or 15 tulips. If your key looked like this, you would think 10 plus 10 plus 10 to figure out that there are 30 tulips in my garden. After the first bake sale, you look at what you sold, and you see that you sold 60 chocolate chip cookies, 40 peanut butter cookies, and 15 oatmeal raisin cookies. We can display this information on a table. 60 chocolate chip cookies, 40 peanut butter cookies, 15 oatmeal raisin cookies. While we can put it on a table, I think it would be easier to understand if it was on a picture graph. Let's start with a graph that's all set up. Here we are. Now it is time to put the pictures on the graph. The key is important when putting on your pictures. Notice this key says that each cookie represents 10 cookies sold. If we want to show that 60 chocolate chip cookies were sold, we can first find the category labeled chocolate chips and start adding our cookies. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Next, we want to show that 40 peanut butter cookies were sold, so we start adding pictures to the line labeled peanut butter. Here we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 40 peanut butter cookies. To complete our graph, we need to fill in pictures to show that 15 oatmeal raisin cookies were sold. Here we have 10, oh no, this shows 20 cookies were sold, but we know only 15 were sold. Another thing that is important to know about a picture graph is you could use half of a shape. A half shape would represent half of the number on the key. Since we know 5 plus 5 equals 10, we think half of 10 is 5. So to show 15 cookies sold, we need to think 10 plus 5 equals 15. Our graph is now complete. So what type of cookie should you make the most of for the next bake sale? It is easy to see that the most popular cookie sold was the chocolate chip cookie, because it has the most pictures next to that category. It's important to remember that the pictures on a graph can be vertical or horizontal. Let's show the same data on a graph with the pictures going up vertically. Once again, it's easy to see that the most popular cookie sold was the chocolate chip cookie. In this lesson, you have learned how to put pictures on a graph by using the key.